Hello YouTube, it's Ian here with Hobbies Man once again, and today we're going to be talking about Andor, episodes 8, 9, and 10, or Arc 3, or the Prison Arc, or the Narkina 5 Arc, whatever you want to call it. It's the third major storyline from the Andor TV show. Remember that the first part, the Ferrix Arc, is the first 3 episodes, and the Aldani Arc is the next 3 episodes, 4, 5, and 6, and then the interlude is episode 7, and then this one would be the newest arc, which is the Narkina 5 arc. And it is more or less a prison break with elements of political, hijinks on the side. So it's pretty interesting. I quite like it. The reality is that I do like the show quite a bit, but I do flip-flop on it a little bit in terms of how much I like it, because sometimes it's like the length or the style or the way that it's told and how long it takes is perfect. And then sometimes it's not really my favorite. And it really flip-flops a lot. And I don't know why that is. I do think that, like I said before, it is Star Wars. Star Wars has to evolve if it's going to continue, because Disney basically massacred it. And so it has to do something different. And developing itself as a platform through which any type of story can be told is quite good. And so I think that the Bourne-esque kind of vibe that we have in Andor is good. And it does still feel like Star Wars because the backdrop of it is Star Wars and it is linked to the rebellion and stuff like that, right? But sometimes I feel like it doesn't have enough Star Wars elements to it. And I know I'm repeating myself, but I think it's important because this is a major part of why I flip-flop on the show. Generally speaking, my love for the show is pretty high. I would rate every single episode at least a 7 out of 10 for the most boring ones, and like a 10 out of 10 for the best ones. In this arc, the best one was the second one, chapter 9, I guess, was really my favorite episode of the arc. I don't know why. The episode just felt so quick and so well done, and it just went on and it didn't stop, and it was so good, and I really liked it. So overall, I quite liked it. I enjoyed this part of the story. The last episode 10, the one that just came out this past week, I liked and I enjoyed, but everyone seems to have enjoyed it more than me, and I'm not really exactly sure why that is. I think maybe there was the ability to invest themselves in the characters a bit more, and I kind of felt like I lacked that a little bit. I mean, besides Andor, who we like because we know that he's the main character, I'm not sure that I really care about any of the other people on the on Narkina 5 beyond Kino whatever his last name is, and that's because I really like the performance Andy Serkis has made, but none of the other characters really felt important enough. I mean, Olaf dying was meaningful, but it was because it was meaningful to the plot, not because I cared about the character, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, no one is really surviving, but at the same time, I'm not sure that I care that no one is surviving too much. And I think that does downgrade the ending part of the story quite a bit. However, everything else, the things that have to do with all the other characters, like Luthen Rael, Mon Mothma, Dedra Meero, and stuff like that, I really like those parts of the story. And in fact, the vast majority of my enjoyment of Andor actually comes from their parts of the story. I'm much more invested in seeing how Mon Mothma has to deal with the fact that she might have to do bad things in order to make sure that she can do the good that she wants to do. And also the fact that Davos Skaldum is a horrible, shitty guy. Although I do think that his performance was a bit too clean. I feel like he should have been a little bit more sleazy, more assholey. I was definitely imagining some sort of much more over the top mafioso type of guy, and the one we got was a very well mannered, cultured man, and I like that. But I feel like it would have been a little bit more fun if it was a little bit more campy, and I do think that that's because I am missing some of the pulpy, campy elements that Star Wars usually brings, and Andor is very much more serious. And I feel like a little bit of camp here and there could have been good, could have been enjoyable. So I'm not sure if that's a valid criticism or not, but it is just how I feel. So yeah, the Luthen Rael monologue at the end of the story, amazing. The Kino Loy monologue in the middle of the story, amazing. The The uprising was pretty good, but it felt a little too fast or too clean. Like, I don't know, like, how to explain it. Like, I understand, like, in the context of the story, it makes sense that it happened the way it did, but, like, I don't know, I feel like there should have been more conflict in that element, right? I feel like the punch at the end of the motion was not as impactful as it could have been. So I don't know why that is. Maybe I'm, being weird or not. I'm not sure, but I did feel like that for some reason. And I'm not sure why that is. But overall, it was really good. I quite enjoyed it. I really had a good time with it. And I don't have any true major complaints. Most of the stuff that I mentioned in this review was mostly just nitpicks. And mostly, I think it's a me problem, not a show problem. Like, it's not like it's badly written. It's not like my problems with the show have to do with the fact that the creators didn't think things through, which is like my arguments against things like Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi. So I'm happy that it's not that, right? It is mostly just nitpicks. So I think that is a really good thing. I think that makes me really happy. I think that I'm really excited about the fact that this show was as good as it is, that it is as good as it is, and that it will continue to go at least for another 2 weeks, and then we'll have to wait for the next season. So that's all my general thoughts about Andor. So I think we'll leave it there. However, there was that new little tiny 3-minute Studio Ghibli Zen animation thing that came out. So let's talk about it now. And overall, I think it was good. However, I feel like there was too much hype developed around this. And I think that a lot of people are going to be pretty disappointed by the fact that, it's literally just 3 minutes and it's just Grogu floating on top of water. It's really cute, and it reminds me a lot of the Grogu training sequence from the Book of Boba Fett, which was probably one of the better episodes of Book of Boba Fett. So I do think that it was good. I think it was well made. I really liked the music. It was this kind of like vague Force theme kind of feel to it, with a little bit of the like Luke theme that they made for The Mandalorian. And it was good. I really enjoyed it. I think that there's a lot of potential for more Mandalorian-based Zen animations. Like, I think that the Mandalorian theme song, the actual like dung tuk dung tuk dung song, that one, I think like if you make that song a little bit lighter feeling, and then you make an animation of Mando riding a blurg in the Studio Ghibli animation, it would look really good and it would be really fun, and I would really enjoy it. And you can have him like go through this little desert area and just like meet a Jawa or something, and go into Quill's hut or something at the end of the 3-minute clip. I think it'd be really, really fun. So there's a lot of things like that. My preference, though, would be for Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau to make short, like, parables or Aesop fables or something like that, like fairy tale type things that are Mandalorian, that are like Mandoa culture fairy tales and fables and stuff like that. Make them all like easy to tell in like less than 10 minutes, like 5 to 10 minutes. And then have Studio Ghibli, with its really beautiful fairy tale animation, create 5 or 6 of these little Mandalorian fairy tales. No talking or anything, just music and pretty animation, and just have them be canonical Mandalorian fairy tales or Mandalorian fables or, morality tales or whatever, and have them show up, on Disney Plus on their own, and then maybe have Din tell one to Grogu during the show, and then have like the animation pop up somewhere on like a hologram or something, and Grogu can watch it as Din tells him the story. And I think that would be really, really good, really enjoyable, and it would be a good way to use Studio Ghibli's beautiful style, right? So yeah, that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. And thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys later.